It's gonna get older.
Trust me. What? Look.
Oh yeah, you see it, guys? It's not available anymore. That's like one of 4 sold, I think.
50 years old.
Cockroaches, billions breeding, roaming around since Genesis, coming up through the crevices, investing, walls filled with termites.
Alright, so it's been a while since we visited our friend the cockroach, Linda Sarsour. The last time I mentioned her, I was telling you guys that she became a surrogate for Bernie Sanders, which makes this video all the more juicy. I don't know how Linda will reconcile her thoughts in this clip with her support of Bernie Sanders, because Bernie Sanders has shown his support for Israel in the past and says they deserve their own state, but he's talking out of both sides of his mouth because he also says that the Israelis have to stop oppressing the Palestinians. But I'm sure no one will bring up those hard questions to Bernie Sanders at any time during his campaign trail, so it's probably something we'll never understand. But interestingly enough, in this clip, the woman who tells you all the time how she's so pro-Jewish and one of the most pro-Jewish people out there had to talk about Zionism. Oh, there's a buzzword if you ever heard one. Zionism. That's like those Juminati Jews. You know, the upper echelon elite, the ones that control the world. Anyway, the pro-Jewish woman had to talk about how Israel is a supremacist state. Yes, that's right, you got it. Linda thinks Israel is based on supremacy. Now, unfortunately, I only found this short clip from the Daily Caller, and I wish I could find the full one. I was looking for it, I couldn't find it anywhere. And I know some people are gonna bitch about how the Daily Caller's right-wing or whatever. I really don't care, because that's a narrative that's being thrown around about anyone who criticizes Linda Sarsour. The narrative is that all the criticisms of Linda Sarsour are based out of the right wing, even though there are plenty of left-wingers who can't stand Linda Sarsour, plenty of people who see through her obvious bullshit on the left, and they want that narrative out there because they want to tie all criticisms of her to the right wing. Why? So then they could say, oh look, it's the right wing, especially the far right, look at how horrible they are, the white supremacists. Of course they're wrong. But if you can't see through Linda's bullshit and you are on the left, then you're a fucking idiot, especially if you're an atheist. You're the most egregious in my mind. Anyway, let's check out what she had to say.
What's really interesting now is that I'm not on the defensive anymore. I don't have to defend human rights. I'm not on the defensive. The people who have to be on the defensive are the Zionists. Because we as Palestinian Americans and Muslim Americans in America, we are looking at the southern border and we're saying we are outraged and we stand against the children who are being stripped from their parents at the border.
Well, first of all, I'm going to need a citation on that. I want to know where you come up with the idea that Muslims are the most against such things. You see, that's just something she said, and she claims to be true for some reason. And second of all, I'd like to know why, since it's 2019, nobody can fucking film correctly. Landscape mode, people. Please, it's 2019. Let's get it right.
We are also saying that we are against a wall between us and Mexico that's going to separate our two peoples. So I don't have to defend that because I'm also against the detainment and separation of children in Palestine. I'm also against the apartheid wall in Palestine. So the people who have to defend themselves now are Zionists. How can you, and this is what I tell college students, you don't even have to make statements. Just frame it into a question. Ask those who call themselves progressive Zionists to explain to you how can they be against the separation of children on the U.S.-Mexican border? How can they be against building a wall between us and Mexico? How can they be against agencies like ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement? But then you support and then you tell me, oh, I'm with you. You can't push me out of the movement because I'm also against white supremacy. Ask them this. How can you be against white supremacy in the United States of America and the idea of living in a supremacist state based on race and class, but then you supremacy that is built on the idea that Jews are supreme to everybody else.
Well, let's see, Linda. Maybe it's because Israel is not founded on the idea that Jews are supreme to everybody else. That could be the first thing. Secondly, maybe they support a wall in Israel, which is a gate, by the way, a chain link fence, because Palestinians attack Israelis constantly. Because there have been numerous intifadas over the years. Because there have been terrorist bus bombings. Because there has been the March of Return, where thousands of Palestinians come to the gate, light hundreds of tires on fire so the black smoke billows into the air so the IDF can't see on the other side, and Molotov cocktails get lobbed over, along with gasoline balloons. Those are a few reasons, just to start. And ask yourself this, Linda, it's so ironic. She's asking how could Jews defend this and that, and then not defend it in Israel. Tell me, Linda, when was the last time you defended the Palestinian people from the terrorist-run government of Hamas? If you want to find the oppressors in Palestine, you don't have to look any further than their own government. Linda never talks about the treatment of Palestinians from Hamas, and she never will, of course. So it's funny that Linda sits there trying to reprimand Jews in Israel for this, when meanwhile she never calls out her own people's government. She never cares or talks about Hamas controlling Palestine. That's all fine and dandy, I guess.
Because I'm also against white supremacy. Ask them this: how can you be against white supremacy in the United States of America and the idea of living in a supremacist state based on race and class, but then you support a state like Israel that is built on supremacy, that is built on the idea that Jews are supreme to everybody else?
Well, let's see how Jews can say that. Progressive Zionists. Maybe because a bunch of them were killed in the 1940s during World War II, and they needed a place to live afterwards, and that's why they have Israel now. That's what Israel is built off of. That is why Israel exists. Not because Jews feel supreme to everybody else. I find this funny because is Linda against Palestine being a nation of just Palestinians? Isn't that what she wants? The liberation of her people in their own land? Isn't it funny how hypocritical she's being? But you see, none of this is new. This is old propaganda. This is propaganda used in the 1930s and 40s against the Jews. Linda's not the first to spout this bullshit. You see, Linda likes to spread the narrative that her, Palestinians, and Muslims in particular are the biggest fighters of fascism and Nazism that there are. They are the true freedom fighters. They're the people who are the most pro-freedom that there is, and everyone else and all these other groups that she likes to talk about are not. That these other groups help fascism and don't do enough to fight against it, like her and the Palestinian people. But you see, here's something I never told you guys. For about 100 years now, I guess, Palestinians have been fed propaganda. Propaganda to help promote the opposition of a Jewish state in that area. You got this guy, Muhammad Amin al-Husseini. Is any fucking Arab, by the way, not named Muhammad or Hussein? Jesus Christ, come up with some new names. This guy was a Palestinian Arab nationalist and Muslim leader in Mandatory Palestine. And he collaborated with none other than fascist Italy and Nazi Germany to help spread propaganda to the Palestinian people to oppose a Jewish nation, a Jewish state. So isn't that fucking ironic that Linda spouts all this nonsense, but meanwhile, it's Palestinian leaders of the past who have collaborated with Nazis and fascists against a Jewish state. But Linda thinks it's the state of Israel that is built on the idea that Jews are better than everyone else. Here, his opposition to the British peaked during the 1936 to 1939 Arab revolt in Palestine. In 1937, evading an arrest warrant, he fled Palestine and took refuge successfully in the French Mandate of Lebanon and the Kingdom of Iraq until he established himself in fascist Italy and Nazi Germany. During World War II, he collaborated with both Italy and Germany by making propagandistic radio broadcasts and by helping the Nazis recruit Bosnian Muslims for the Waffen-SS on the grounds that they shared four principles: family, order, the leader, and faith. Also, he told the recruits Germany had not colonized an Arab country while Russia and England had. On meeting with Adolf Hitler, he requested backing for Arab independence and support in opposing the establishment of Palestine of a Jewish national home. So yeah, Linda, what do you have to say about that? Please, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Palestinian collaboration with fascist Italy and Nazi Germany. Anyway, people, I don't think I need to say much more there. I've said it all before on Linda. We all know what a filthy cockroach she is. And by the way, look at her. She's gotten really fat lately, no? Look at her face. It's looking a little bloated. I didn't know cockroaches could get fat. But I guess you learn something new every day. Anyway, guys, have a good night.
Cockroaches!